Hello. I'm here to share a story that I wrote. It's the first time I ever did this before, so please bear with me. The title of the story is called Screaming in the Night. And I wrote this story May 1st, 2010. So about close to 3 years from now. 3 years now, I mean. It's just random thoughts, so here we go. Screaming in the night. Last night I experienced a mental shutdown like no other. It began only with a simple movie. You see, every night I watched a movie before I go to bed. Nothing special, but last night I chose a horror movie. I can't recall the title, though I'm sure it will hit me later at the least important part of my life. I remember making popcorn, then sitting down. I grabbed the remote and pressed play. That's when things began to become a bit eerie. Suddenly, the lights turned off on their own, and the only source of electricity was the TV. Words flashed across the TV. "Pick up the telephone, right now." Soon the phone rang, and I jumped right out of my couch. The phone continuously kept ringing, but I dare not pick up for fear of who or what may be on the other line. Next thing you know, the television started imitating the voice of a little girl around the age of 8. "If you don't pick up the telephone, you'll be in big trouble." I paid no mind to the voice, but a slight chill did run down my spine, giving me seconds of thought on whether or not to pick up my phone. A little voice inside my head told me to leave it. Then again, my curiosity got to me as well, telling me it could be about my dad and what his condition is in the hospital. As I reached for the phone, the little voice in my head yelled out to me saying, "Stop! Don't pick up the phone. You'll regret it. Trust me." I looked towards the television, my hand hovering over the ringing phone. An image started to appear out of the black screen. It showed a room filled with a gloomy atmosphere. Pictures on the wall of people's faces from past lives, blinking and moving their eyes. All their mouths were moving, but no speech or sounds were coming out. In the middle of the room, a person was standing. All I could see was just a silhouette. Suddenly it began to move towards the screen. It pointed at me, then at the phone. The faces in the pictures stopped blinking and all turned towards me, glaring at me through cold, lifeless stares. Instantly the phone stopped ringing, forcing me to look away from the TV and down at the phone. That's when the 8-year-old voice came on again, this time out of the stereo speakers. "I told you you'll be in trouble if you didn't pick up the phone." Her voice then echoed through the entire house, from the alarm clock radio in the kitchen, out from the extra television in the guest room, even from my cell phone in my pocket. I glanced back at the TV and saw the faces in the pictures started to shake rapidly. Next thing, the faces began to crawl out of the pictures, each one slowly crawling out with its own body. At this moment, my body became paralyzed with fear. I tried to think of the Lord's Prayer, but nothing came to mind. Nothing at all. It felt like I was being targeted for no reason by evil spirits. I couldn't do anything except look back at my TV. The bodies were now completely out of their pictures, and only empty frames remained on the walls. They all looked horrible. Each one had disproportionate arms. Their faces seemed to have changed. They no longer looked like normal people, but more like demonic figures with faces that slanted to one side, teeth crooked and eyes black and uneven, their noses bleeding dark red blood and their hair turning gray, some turning white. The black figure in the middle kept pointing at me, then at the phone again. That's when the phone rang again, breaking me out of my paralyzed trance. Immediately I picked up the phone and brought it to my left ear. "Hello?" I managed to say. I noticed my voice was shaky. Nothing came out of the other side of the line. I looked at the TV. Again, the picture was as if someone pressed pause. I also noticed there was no sound in the house at all. Everything was completely quiet. I turned my attention back towards the phone. "Hello," I said again, this time a bit more calm. told you you'll regret picking up the phone, but you just didn't listen. My own voice spoke back to me. I dropped the phone and screamed. I tried to scream. It felt as if I was drowning in water. I couldn't breathe, I couldn't talk, and I definitely couldn't move. I felt trapped in a nightmare and I couldn't wake up. Then something tapped on my right shoulder. I turned around and saw all the demonic figures standing around me, laughing, crying, grunting, and talking in a bizarre language. Out of the crowd, the dark figure in the TV walked towards me, and as it came near, it became clear who it was. That's when I realized the black figure was me. "Why are you doing this? Why am I here?" I asked. It did nothing. It only stared at me and walked closer. It got closer than it was in front of me. It leaned towards my ear and whispered, "This is the hell you created. These people you see are your inner demons. That one is hate." It points to one of the disfigured demons. That one is jealousy, and that one is depression, and that one is confusion. It pointed out each one as it whispered softly in my ear. "Which one are you?" I asked. "I am you. I'm the one in your mind, your conscience, your love, your strength, your courage. I'm the one who whispers in your ear and warns you of danger. I'm the one you ignored all your life, the one who you trapped in the back of your mind for many years. I'm what you gave up on. I'm your hope and your faith. These things you created is what got you here. They made you think, taught you how to manipulate. The ones you fed in your own mind. They are your reality. They created your false identity. I'm not like that. I do love. I care. I'm not a bad person," I tried to explain. "Again, it's what you think. Did you forget about me that long you forgot everything else?" I looked at it, puzzled and confused. "We're all in your mind. You're on the mental hell you created throughout your years alive. You chose mind power, them, over willpower, me. You started making decisions with your mind and let them consume your morality. You forgot how to feel, how to make the right decisions using your heart. Tragedy everyone goes through, and like you, they lose who they are inside their own minds. They get lost in a maze of negative emotions, thus creating the demons you see before your eyes. How do I change it? How do I get it back? What I lost, how do I find myself?" "You did find yourself. That is why I'm here to take you home, to be with those who love you. But there's a price to pay. Are you willing to pay the price?" it asked me. I stared into its eyes and saw trust and compassion. I felt a warm feeling I never felt before, ever in my life. Then I said, "Yes." Suddenly everything started to shake. The demons started to yelp in pain, with fear in their eyes. One by one, each of them shattered into pieces and then disappeared. The black figure was all that stood before me. I stared into its eyes and heard voices around me, voices from another world. The black figure then whispered one last thing. "Remember, you're never alone. You always got me. Your love, your strength, your hope, faith, and always your heart." Then the black figure burst into a bright white light and everything started to change. The blackness began to flood with light, overshadowing the entire room. The voices became more louder and more clear. "He's recovering. We have him. Stabilize his heart rate. Don't lose him," I heard a voice. "He's okay. He'll be fine," I heard another say. "Can you hear me, son? You're lucky. We just about lost you. You have a strong heart," the first voice said. That's when I opened my eyes and saw I was inside a hospital. Inside a hospital. Glad to be alive. The end. That's my story.
Flawless.
Yep. By me, Blue Mush. So, thank you for sticking through that. It's my first story that I wrote. So, decided to share it with all you people out there. So, thank you.